Something you want to think about is try to do it in the same place with the same routine that happened right before it and the same routine that happens right after it, right at the same time of the day.
What's up? This is Marcus Martinez, and I got my silly sidekick, Mr. Aaron Guyette. We are master coaches here with LivingFit, and today we want to talk to you if you have just been sitting around, you haven't been getting your workouts in, you haven't been getting your training, you don't know where to start, but I
want to get started.
I want to get started. I want to get results. I want to feel and look better. So what do I do? What would you recommend to somebody?
Whatever you do, just do it all. No. That's absolutely the last thing, right? So I've actually had the great pleasure of watching my wife get started a couple of times. Like just, you know, she's got homeschool stuff that she's dealing with. She's got kids stuff that she's dealing with. She's trying to be like the perfect mom, the perfect homemaker, do this baking, watch her favorite shows, you know, all these things. And it's like, man, the workouts can slip away. So I've been able to watch her get started a few times. And I'll tell you what doesn't work every single time is when she bites off way more than she can chew, right? So slow and steady wins this race, right? The tortoise and the hare, the tortoise wins every single time, no matter which book you get, what translation, however many times you read it, tortoise always wins. There's a reason for that, right? Because slow and steady does win the race. Building a routine, building a habit, and then building on that routine and on that habit.
So the first step is take bite-sized pieces. Don't do so much. Don't try to do so much. You'll be surprised how much you can get done in 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. But 10 minutes was a specific number I chose. But 10 minutes, I mean, it's not scary. You're not gonna, overexert yourself typically. So, but then once you do that, and just like that tortoise, he kept going. So how can you string together a bunch of successes? Success breeds success. When you can do it once and you start creating that habit, when you start creating that streak. And I love thinking this, when there's anything new that I'm trying to accomplish, I always think, how can I start a streak? How can I get a streak of at least 7 days of this thing? Whether it's working out, whether it's learning a language, whatever that might be. So your first goal might just be, I want to get 10 minutes a day for 7 days. Don't think so much about the future. Don't think about months from now or years from now. Just think about these 7 days. So that way you really focus in on getting the benefits and learning to enjoy the process.
That's beautiful. So the 7-day streak, right? And so something you want to think about is try to do it in the same place with the same routine that happened right before it and the same routine that happens right after it, right at the same time of the day. So if you're trying to do one in the morning and then I'll randomly do one in the afternoon, and then another day I'll do it in the morning, and another day I'll do it at night, and I'll just hope that I can string together my 7, it's like, that's going to be a whole lot harder than, hey, I know I have 10 minutes. As soon as I wake up, I'm gonna, hit my smartphone, or I'm gonna do, my push-ups and squats. Maybe I'm just doing something simple for 10 minutes or whatever it might be, right? But I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna jump in the shower, right? And that then is, you're gonna be able to string it together far easier than if you're randomly putting it throughout different parts of your day. Because randomly putting it, what will tend to happen, and this happens with me, I'm sure Marcus can attest to this as well. This happens to my wife, this happens to my kids. If I'm like, oh, well, I'll do it later. Later becomes never, right? Yes. Later will always become never. So I'm always like, hey, let's do it between this part of our day in our routine and this part of our day in our routine. And we already have these routines established. So all I got to do is just hook that in. And before you know it, I got a 7-day streak, and I'm working on my next 7-day streak.
I love it. So we've got a small thing that we can do, that we know we can do. We're setting up that streak. We're doing it at the same time every day. But the fourth thing I would say is do something you enjoy. There's such an overlooked thing. People are like, what's the best thing? What's the thing that's going to get me to drop 20 pounds in 3 days? It's like, no, do something you enjoy, because you're going to be more likely. Yeah, chopping off your arm. You will definitely lose at least 3 pounds. You will do something that's going to allow you to do something that you enjoy. And if you do something you enjoy, you have joy with it, then you're most likely going to stick to it a little bit longer. So, if you're like one of those people like, I don't like anything, I don't like sweat, there's something you like to do. There might be just picking up the kettlebell, doing a few swings with it. It might be picking up the battle rope, doing a few,
wiggle worms. Yeah.
My joke is always drummer boy, and so now I only think, he's never once said that. I always jokingly,
I just said it, but I will never say it when I'm talking about battle rope.
Find something that you enjoy, it's within your abilities, so that way it's not daunting. So that way the next day, because how many times have you had a client or seen somebody get so hyped up, they start their program, and then how long are they there? A day, 2 days, and then they're done because it's too much. It's too much. Scale it down.
Yeah, and if it's too much, right, then probably you're gonna be sore and probably you're not gonna like yourself, and then probably you're not gonna like the thing that made you not like yourself, and then you're probably not gonna do it, right? Disclaimer, don't chop your arm off to lose 20 pounds, okay?
Your leg's
Don't
way
want you
heavier.
to do that. Your leg is way heavier. Don't do that either. No, but yeah, something that you enjoy. I didn't know that I enjoy, I knew I danced a little bit and I thought it was kind of fun or whatever, but I just danced with my daughters every night for a couple of months straight, and we did it for at least 10 minutes because we love doing it, and because they love doing it, they reminded me to do it, and because I love doing it, I reminded them to do it, right? So it's way easier to do something that you like, right? In a routine at the same time every day, right? And think about it in the bite-sized chunks so you can create a streak, right? And then just get consistent and don't overdo it. Don't try to do everything under the sun. But check it out. So after the 7-day, 14-day, 21, 28-day streak, whatever it is, you will feel like, man, I feel like I can do more. And I did it. And then you'll start to add more. And before you know it, you'll be doing those full-on hour-long workouts or whatever it is that you're looking as the ideal kind of thing maybe right now, or hour-long dance parties. I don't know.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, Danielson. So start small. How can we do this where it's going to be sustainable? If you can't do this for 3 months or 2 months or whatever, then you're probably not going to do it in the long term. So stop thinking in these crazy, fasts and super intense programs that are going to, guarantee me results. You're going to burn out. Longevity is far more important than efficacy. So rather than focusing on what's the best, just focus on what you feel like you can stick with.
Yeah, we overestimate what we can get done in a day, in a week, in a month, and we underestimate what we can accomplish in a year and even 5 years. Your consistency is going to create far more results in the long haul than this short and very intense session today or for this week, right? So think about that. Check out living.fit. We've got 10 minutes to transform, which is probably the perfect thing, and it's really varied, and it's a lot of fun, and it's engaging. It's just a quick little follow along that you can do every day. Something that my wife really enjoys. She continues to do it. She's now on her second cycle through of the 30 days. So love it.
Awesome. We'll see you on the inside.